where do I start? Like, I want to put something out there positive to the world. Like, that's at the core of who I am. Like, I just want to be able to make a decent video that has decent content, it adds value, and it actually is going to provide some type of information that helps you navigate through this incredible, silly Chinese maze that we're in. And some days I'm really up. I'm up really high. And then other days I'm like, I don't feel so positive about it. You know, like you, the things that really keep me centered, the things that keep me in a place of balance are my wife, my child, the meat and potatoes of my life, the other things that kind of orbit around the chaos that surrounds me is all kind of white noise, just like it is for you. So I really try to eliminate, I try to keep a cap on how much of an effect that white noise, that outside noise has on my daily life. But when I experience a week like I just experienced, it becomes increasingly difficult. So I'm going to have my wife help me real quick, because I'm completely unprepared. I get on these videos and you know what? I don't have a manuscript. I don't. I just speak from the heart. I have a rough idea of what I'm going to say. I have a rough idea of these stupid articles that I want to highlight and I want to share with you. But overall, at the nuts and bolts of this channel is an average dude, an average guy, a family man that just wants to kind of help you navigate your way through this as I try to navigate my way through it. And there is no easy answer, and I'm tired of listening to millionaires and billionaires tell me where I should put my money. And that's at the heart of why I started this channel. Some jackwad, is jackwad okay? Some jackwad with way too much money who I don't beseech. It's great. You earned your money, dude. That's fine. We all realize that you have 2 passports and you have multiple properties in Puerto Rico, which, you know, make you completely tax exempt in a sense. Great for you. I'm not angry at you. That has no reflection on the average American struggle. So that's why I started this channel, is because I want a middle-class American. I want blue-collar Americans speaking to me, and I couldn't find it. And where I recognized that gap, I thought that maybe I could fill that gap. Did I come on too strong? Was that too hard of an intro? Could you do me a favor? Could you turn that stupid ring light on? Because we always forget it. Look at that national debt. I'm sitting here and I'm just like, I'm supposed to be positive. Like, we're supposed to be positive about where this economy is headed. Everything's coming back. I've got really, really smart people in my life. People that are college educated, that have resources and power. And they choose to ignore the warning signs. Like, I'm sitting here telling you, like, oh, can you tell I'm close to a meltdown? real estate agents are always going to be optimistic about whether or not it's a good time to buy. If that is not clear to you, like if that isn't just black and white, like you know that's the baseline of truth we can all start at. Of course, a real estate agent who is dying to sell you something, anything, it's always going to be a great time to buy. Real estate is clearly in a bubble. Our government will not allow the foreclosure process to take place. So who in their right mind, college educated or not, would say to themselves, you know what? I think this might be an opportunity to get into the real estate game when real estate prices are up 13% year over year. And we're not allowing the natural principles of the market to take place. Natural principles like foreclosures. We're saying, hey, there's a moratorium. You're not allowed to foreclose on that couple. Well, so a real estate agent that wants to sell you some shit will tell you, hey, guess what? Don't worry about the amount of people that are looking to get a moratorium on their foreclosure, the amount of people that are looking for forbearance is really, it's a tiny number. No, it's not. It's a huge number. It's close to 2 million people. 2 million Americans. People like you, people like me, people that are just trying to feed their families, people that are just trying to see their way through to the next paycheck. 1.7 million in forbearance. Those chickens are going to come home to roost. And when that inventory floods the real estate market, what do you think is going to happen to home prices? Look at how crazy our reality is right now. Everything is hyperinflated. The stock market. There's not even price discovery. I mean, I get halfway through my speech and I lose my willpower to even preach it because I feel like no one's listening. But on the off chance that my own mother is listening, I want to preach it to her. Because shit, the stock market, home prices, real estate. You want to tell me that's not a bubble, but we're not allowing foreclosures. Cryptocurrencies. You want to tell me that's not a bubble? They climb by thousands, they drop by thousands. Actually, billions, and I'll go over that here in a minute. How about used cars? Look at those things. How about motorhomes? I had someone kind of take exception to the fact that I was like, look, you got starter homes that are going for $400,000. And I let me retract that statement. Because what you really have is you have tract housing. These homes go up including the house that I'm in right now. They go up in 3 months. It's tract housing. There's nothing special about them. There's no customization here. One looks like the other looks like the other. A continuing theme across our country. A theme? It's a theme. I just made a new word. Tract housing. You live in a tract home. And it's $400,000, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Get out of here. You want to tell me that's not a bubble? You want to tell me it's not a bubble when you're overpaying for a used vehicle? I feel like a disappointed father sometimes. What? You sniggered, is that too strong? Okay, I feel like a disappointed older brother. Is that better? Shit, I mean, I just don't know. Like, I'm sitting here preaching to you guys. Look, here's what's not normal. You want to know what's not normal? What's not normal is any of the cryptocurrencies, but let's specifically point out Bitcoin. It's not normal that Bitcoin is being preached as a possible replacement for gold. Gold, a tangible asset. I could actually have a gold nugget and put it in my hand. Okay, and Bitcoin, something that's not tangible. You can't hold it. You can't bite on it to make sure it's real. You can't do any of this shit. But I'm supposed to believe that all of a sudden Bitcoin, it's a reserve of wealth. It's going to preserve my wealth. How? Bitcoin is a speculative asset. It proves it every other month. Bitcoin has corrected and retraced by over 80% 3 times. Gold has never done that. And I'm not beating Bitcoin up. If Bitcoin's your thing, do it to it, brother. Guess what? I don't give a crap. But don't give me this, it's the new gold. You're dead wrong. You're absolutely wrong. Guess what happened this past week? Bitcoin, and I'm going to look at the number because I don't want to get it wrong. Guess what Bitcoin did? 365 billion overnight erased. Erased from Bitcoin. Just all of that value. $365 billion overnight gone. That's how much it retraced. That's where it was at this week. Look at how, look, with that kind of volatility in the stock market, look at how volatile the stock market is. You know what happened this week? The Dow down over 700 points. The next day, it jumps up 400 points. That's not normal. There's nothing normal about this. Here we are, like, I don't know how many of you are familiar with the Music Man. Like, that was my play, okay? Just so you know. In fact, you know what? I want to recite something from the Music Man that I did in high school, and I'm going to torture you, okay? So you can fast forward, or you can just watch the stupidity in front of you. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. Oh, please let it be for me. It could be something for someone of no relation, or it could be something special just for me. I went into a musical moment there. I apologize. What was I talking about? It's bizarre to me when we're talking about the volatility. So last week we threw a parade. We were all excited because for the first time we'd only lost 473,000 unemployment claims, okay? 473,000 new unemployment claims. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! We dropped below 500, guys. The market is coming back. Like, that is certainly cause to celebrate. It was revised. It was actually 507. My point is this, is like last week, I think it was at 408 or 480. Big discrepancy there. I think it might have been 480, but the point is this. Look, anything over 400 is certainly not a victory. New unemployment claims. You think that this market is coming back? Like, I've been telling everybody that I care about, everybody that's in my circle of trust, listen, inflation's coming. Buckle your seatbelts, get the stuff you need now, because prices are just going to climb, and that includes food, clothing, blah, 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 blah. Like, everything you need, the essentials. But here we are with the Federal Reserve. They want to highlight, well, we left the CPI, really? The CPI doesn't include things like food or energy. How convenient for them. Give me a break. But they cite crap like this. Well, look at how much better cars are made. Your car is a lot cheaper and it'll last you forever. Guess what? A car makes up a very small portion of what I pay out every month. Okay, well, what about TVs? Look at TVs. You see how much higher quality they are, and they're cheap. They're really cheap. Guess what? I buy a new TV every 5 years. Like, I don't give a crap. I'd rather pay a little extra for the TV if it means we can keep inflation on my groceries down. That'd be great. Well, look at computers, though. Computers now, they have got a lot smarter, and there's a lot more technology. When you go to buy that computer, it's certainly worthwhile. Okay? That price of that computer has gone down. The price of that TV has gone down. What? Are you guys serious? I buy groceries every day. I need medical care at least once a month. I need a checkup. I need to make sure my wife's all right. I need to make sure my kid's okay. I buy fuel every single week. Like, I put fuel in my vehicle every single week. But you're going to tell me, oh, no, that doesn't really matter. Look at how cheap a computer is. What? This is where we're at, kids. Like, this is the lies they sell to us. Look, I know this was a huge rant. I've gone into it. I'm so sorry. I really apologize for the singing. That was unnecessary. You laughed too hard at that. I'm going to get into what I wanted to get into initially about just things that happened this week. Okay, so here we go. Please bear with me as I navigate through this nightmare of a... Okay, so here we go. What's going on here? Does anybody know who Barry Steinlicht is? I hope I'm saying that name right, because Barry Sternlicht, Barry Heinlicht, like I could get those two confused. Did I say Heinlicht at first?
No, he said Sternlicht.
I did? Because I was really tempted to say Heinlicht. Oh God. Okay, so listen. This guy's seen more success than most of us could ever hope to enjoy. But what's important here is he's a brilliant mind. And in this interview here, and you can please CNBC, you can reference this article on your own. Check it out. Massive amounts of stimulus have fundamentally changed the economy. And he's not wrong. You know that something is askew. You know something's wrong with our economy when McDonald's is like, hey, listen, we don't care if you take the job or not. Just come on over and we'll give you $50 to interview. You know there are massive distortions in our economy when something like that is happening. And it's unsustainable, guys. Our national debt is unsustainable. And that's why I start with it every single week. Like, because it's clearly, I mean, it's the elephant in the room. Like, please, I'm trying to point to our national debt with every finger I have. I've been telling people for months now on my channel, listen, inflation is coming, prepare. stock up on canned food, stock up on water. Supply chain disruptions are coming, more of them, that is. But really overall inflation. And here's the Fed, here's Jerome Powell talking about it's just transitory. This guy with his third grade words, guess what? It's not transitory. And I believe the proof is in the pudding. Like when I go to pay my grocery bill, or I go to pay my gas bill, or I go to fuel my car, there's nothing transitory about the additional $20 that I'm putting in fuel in my vehicle. There's nothing transitory about the additional $50 in groceries I spend every week. I don't care about your 10-cent word, your 10-cent transitory term. It doesn't mean jack to me. What means something to me is, hey, what are you doing about it? And the answer is nothing. They're not going to do anything. What about this guy? What's he say? I wonder, Warren Buffett might know a thing or two about a thing or two. He just might. Guess what he's saying? He just sounded the alarm on inflation, huh? According to Yahoo Finance. This guy's like, hey, guess what? We're seeing substantial inflation. I should highlight that. Maybe next time I'll highlight it for you kids. But I'm going to need a subscription and some money for that because that's too much effort. I'm just pointing out articles at this point. Look, we're seeing substantial inflation. Warren Buffett is saying it. And yet here's Jerome Powell, the head of the Federal Reserve, saying this is just transitory. No. You know why he's saying that? He's saying that because the only answer for inflation is hiked up interest rates. And they cannot afford to increase the interest rates. They can't. It's the only tool in their toolbox and they can't use it. I've been saying that for months on this channel too. So what happens? What happens in April, according to MarketWatch? U.S. inflation soars in April to 13-year high. CPI, which doesn't account for food inflation or energy inflation, reveals fresh stress on the economy, a 13-year high. So a 13-year high with inflation. And I can't tell you how many people were telling me, guess what? There's not going to be any inflation. If so, it's just going to be here for a minute. Now everybody's admitting inflation's here to stick around for a bit. Like, it's our unwelcome uncle that just wants to use our third bedroom for a while. Inflation's here to stay, kids. And if we're real lucky, it's going to turn into stagflation, which there's already signs of. I predict that we're entering a long-term period of stagflation. But yeah, it's a great time to go buy a house. It's a great time to go buy a rental. You're at the top of the bubble. Why would you do that? So I'm trying to be positive. Guess what's happening? I've got people in my ear. Smart people, dumb people, all kinds of people. They're like, hey, guess what? You need to know that people are paying down their debts. Really? Yeah, people are actually paying down their debts. They're getting these stimulus packages and they're paying down their debts. Americans are. When in 2019, here we were led to believe that according to experts and statistics, people were, the average, 80% of Americans, 80% of Americans could not afford a $500 emergency without accessing some type of credit line. And now I'm led to believe like people are buying $400,000 track homes. Like they got money coming out their ears, right? They're paying down their debts. Really? Guess what? I feel like, what was that shithead? Bill Clinton's vice president. What was his name? Put you on the spot for that. Al Gore. Here it is, Al Gore. Here's an inconvenient truth. Household debt climbs to $14.64 trillion due to jump in mortgages and car loans. Yeah, those people are really paying down their debts, aren't they? We're just repeating what's happened in the past. And the point of this channel is to get you to see it and understand it. It's not a good time to buy a car. It's not a good time to buy that big, pretty F-150 or F-250. It's time to wait, chillax, sit back. I would never buy a new vehicle just because I'm principled against it. I'm going to let somebody else take that heavy hit, driving it off the lot. And then 2 years later, I'm going to buy that, and somebody else took that hit. But I certainly wouldn't buy it right now. The point is to get rid of your negative debt in times of economic turmoil, not increase your negative debt. Why would you do that? It doesn't make any sense. Like, damn it. Like, it's basic stuff, and I can hear my wife kind of sighing like, you're being too hard on him, don't hurt him, Hammer. And I'm like, damn, I'm Hammer, I gotta hurt him. Everything's a nail. Did you know that? Everything's a nail to a hammer. Okay, last thing, I promise, because you hear so much about, oh yeah, retail sales are climbing, this economy's back, the service industry is saving America. The service industry, bar staff, are going back to work. They're the ones that are like, we're gonna rebuild America on the service industry. Guys, you have to understand something. Our economy is based on service and product. You have to produce something. You can't just service. And I've been saying that from the first video. Okay, I wipe your butt. Now I turn around, now you wipe my butt. That doesn't do anything. We don't produce jack. So guess what? All this, and this is according to Yahoo Finance, guess what? First round of stimulus right here. I don't have to spell it out to you. Guess what happened? Retail sales spike. Then they flatline. Second round of stimulus, retail sales spike. Then they fatline. Fatline? I got a complex because I'm fat. I'm losing weight though, so don't judge me. Third round of stimulus here, and then guess what it does? Of course it flatlines. You're not going to save this market. You're not going to save our economy by just pushing out free money to people. They're going to spend it that very month they get it, and then they're going to be broke again. And your retail sales are going to flatline, which this article clearly demonstrates. Okay, I need to bring it back to center. I'm trying to get healthy, so just hold on one second. I didn't have Rebecca set a timer because I knew I was angry. I was angry coming into this. I'm angry going out of it. I'm angry like a lot of you are angry. I know a lot of you share my anger because we're not doing jack to fix our situation. Nobody's talking about reducing our debt. Nobody was talking about reducing our debt 3 years ago. They're still not talking about reducing our debt. It doesn't matter what party is in power. They don't give a crap. It's just spend, spend, spend. I could show you year after year, presidential term after presidential term, Republican and Democrat, they just keep increasing our debt because nobody wants to vote for the guy that's going to cut spending and increase taxes. Nobody's going to vote for that guy. We are doomed. We are in a cycle of, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy is what it is. They're going to destroy our currency. And then they're going to move towards a digital currency. That's what they're going to do. They're going to keep printing until the dollar has no value. They're going to, all the while, they're going to tell you the economy's so great. That's why I created this channel, to let you know. I have a lot of family and friends I love dearly. If you're not buying something you can hold in your hand, something that you can actually, I don't know, a tangible asset like silver or gold, and go and put it in a storage unit where you have a safe and everything is secured. You don't have to rely on a bank, a friend, a family member. Hell, take it and bury it in the ground. If you're not trying to stock up on water, stock up on paper towels, stock up on toilet paper, stock up on the stuff you use every day, because inflation is coming for your money. So the return you get on just buying all those products that aren't going to spoil, you know, those products are good. You could use those for a very long time. Set them aside. Buy them now. Buy them today. Buy security. Buy cameras. Buy water. This circus is coming to an end. And it could happen overnight. Or it could happen in 3 years. But it doesn't make me wrong if it happens in 3 years. It makes me right. Just 3 years later. Okay, that's what I've got for you today. I feel like I forget this stuff sometimes, so I know there's a ton of people. Like, I look at my views and then I look at the amount of people that are subscribed. Guess what? I've got a ton of views and hardly anyone subscribed. So I'd implore you, please, if you've watched the video this far, you owe me a subscribe. You owe me a like. And let me know what you think. Am I all wet? Guys, I'd love to hear your opinions down in the comment section. I mean, if I'm the guy that's wrong at the party, I realize I'm the guy at the party that everybody was hoping didn't show up, right? Because oh shit, he's just going to tell the truth. He's got a bunch of, he's a Debbie Downer. Okay, I'll take that title. But if you disagree with me, tell me why. Give me hard facts of why I'm wrong. I'd love to hear them. Because all I'm doing is sharing the news. That's what I'm doing. I'm sharing the facts. So where am I wrong at? Clearly, I didn't set a timer today. I'm certainly past 10 minutes. I'm probably at, I don't even want to venture to guess. What do you say, babe? 40 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Easy?
Yeah.
Okay. I really care for my audience. The people that keep coming back and watching my stupid videos, you are the people that, you're the reason why. Like, I really don't care if it was just one. Like, you are the reason why that I keep going through this process. I'm making videos and putting them out there because I know there's a handful of people that actually like them and enjoy the content, and that makes it worth it. So, until next week, please make smart choices and be good to each other. We'll see you. We'll see you next Sunday.